Hello and welcome to the video, you crazy people. My name is Jay Oddity and today I'm going to be showing off my river rapids. This is part 7 of my Gambler's Paradise theme park in Planet Coaster, of course. Last episode we did the log flume in Venice, basically. And yeah, I have continued with the river going down. With the canyon. I always planned on having a river rapids. I didn't really know where I was going to put it, but yeah, we decided here. It's probably going to be a short episode because it's quite an individual piece and there's not really anything else I could do that would go along with the same vein. But hopefully you'll enjoy it nonetheless. This is episode 7. I did say I didn't want to do too many parts, but there's at least 3 parts to go. So we've got quite a lot of empty space over there, but less of that, more to do with the rapids. Now, the station itself is just under here, and this is just like at the back of the park here. But the station, you go through this. Now, I didn't really know how to theme the platform here, the queuing area. I've sort of gone with like miners who are no longer there, maybe gold miners who are no longer there, but I didn't want to overdo it because it's like a natural setting, so there's nothing ridiculous here. And the actual station itself, I've just gone with these rock walls with some rocks around them and some plants, which I think looks nice. The main thing about the design here is the way that it's sort of settled into the hill, into the mountain with like a giant hole. And if you look, that actually covers the station. So, I mean, yeah, it's not very protected, but it's protected enough, I think, and I quite like it the way it is. It's quite open. This light, this was just a test. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. It was just to see what the river would actually look like at night. I'll move those at some point. But yeah, the canyon itself, the river rapids itself, I didn't want it to like make everything ugly, but I knew that I sort of wanted it to go down these stages like somehow. Well, to be fair, this was what I had in mind ultimately. This, you know, where the big drop and it goes under a bridge and the people are going, yay, woohoo, that was the main thing. So the rapids itself, it just goes into the mountain. Most of the going up is done in the mountains, as you'll see. The only thing you really see is the going down. You don't really see much more else, like anything else. This bit obviously has to go across the river, but apart from that, inside it's just simple lights. Nothing spectacular in here. By the way, I might not ride this ride because the river rapids take quite a while and it doesn't really do more than what I'm showing you. There was somebody on stream, I'm not sure if it was Tim or NJ who said do this sort of like two-tiered drop. But I think that works quite well, actually. The reason I'm stalling is I'm trying to make it so you can see what happens. So it actually just manages to slow down. I've also put rapids there because it doesn't really change a thing. But it just manages to slow down before it goes down the second drop, which I think is pretty damn sweet. And yeah, so that's the first drop down the down over these rock waterfalls. These rock waterfalls I did on stream just last night, I believe. I've seen a lot of people do them. I don't think mine's like amazing. But I think it's passable. Obviously, there are no waterfalls in the game, like naturally. This is all what are they called? Let's see if I can remember what I'm not even going to remember what they're called. I'm going to try and show you what they're called. Yeah, the splash and the water spouts. These are the 2 things that I was using. You just put them through rocks. It sort of looks like water's, you know, pushing its way through the rocks and coming out, and a bit of greenery there. And yeah, I think I mean, there's not too much difference between each one, but I made them pretty much individually. A little bit of copy and pasting, but not ridiculously. And yeah, I think that looks pretty sweet on all 3 of these. As I said, nothing amazing. Like, I didn't want to spend forever doing them, making it look like the rocks bouncing off specific areas and stuff, but I think it's a nice effect. I think, you know, like, for what it is, it looks good. There is actually another section where I need to do one more of these. That's all the way over here. The game's been a bit weird. Here, for example, I need to do another waterfall. That one will be a little bit trickier because it'll be a bigger one. But yeah, these were the 3 that I needed right now. I know I never finished the ride tour, but we'll get on to that. So yeah, like once you've gone down this two-tiered like drop, you just go in here, just random rapids for whatever reason. I quite like the fact that you see the track coming back Again, just simple lights, nothing amazing. A little bit more, and then in for the big drop. It also almost like that was timed. It was 100% not. And yeah, the big drop, there's not really much on the left side. I'm not sure if I'll ever change that, but I quite like that. It splashes as it goes under the bridge. Nice little intrigue there. And then the ride itself, you can see it goes back up through the mountain here. So I'll show you what I mean. It just goes up. It's nothing spectacular. There's a random hole there. It's not supposed to be, but it's fine. And yeah, back to the station. So it's not like a very amazing ride or anything. I don't even do any of the wide pieces and stuff like that because I didn't really like how they looked. Let's have a look at the rating itself for the ride. 4.43 for the excitement, 3.26 for fear. Not really much nausea. It's perfectly passable, I think, basically. Nothing amazing. So I've also done a little bit more with the monorail. Like the monorail now goes through this like mountainous section, and it will eventually have a station here, which I've not properly built. There's a path also onto this ridge. I've finally put paths to this ridge where you can get, and I'll talk about the ridge in a moment. Yeah, I think that was pretty much all I've done in this section. I may have messed about with some of the pathing just to make it a little bit neater, but I think I'm going to try and keep this quite plain, so it's actually quite like the canyon-esque, like when I think of the Grand Canyon, I don't think of loads of cards or, you know, a specific kind of plant or anything. It's just mountains or rocks, I should really say, rather than mountains. But yeah, the other thing I've done with this path, so the path up here, I've put some dice because I don't know, I've got to have it themed. I've got my dice shop, which is currently closed. But I have these two rides, and I know there's not like much to them, and I've put a bit of water at the back. I really didn't know what to do. I didn't want to like theme it too much because I'm going to run out of themes when it comes to casinos. Basically, there's not much. I'm not fully running out of ideas, but there's not much in the tank left. But yeah, that path crosses over the monorail and it goes to the station there, of course. But this section just trees and dice. It's meh. I'm not overly thrilled with it, but I think it'll suffice. One bit I am sort of happy with, I came up with this idea of maybe doing like this mountain-esque path. So like when you actually do like real life paths up large, you know, mountains or hills, I should say, not really mountains. They'll have like crisscross paths like that, you know, so they don't necessarily have to dig it, you know, big giant staircase up kind of thing. So I did that and we've got the railings on, and I think that's actually a really nice effect. It looks good, and you can imagine people coming down here and going up there. The only other thing that I've done, which I may not keep, well, one, I've put a little plaza here. Two, I've added these giant 7/7s, which I'm very unlikely to keep. You can see I've also tried to do cherries and a little bell, but I'm very unlikely to keep them. What I might do instead is have like a theme around like an actual slot machine, like a coaster or something. Oh yeah, I'm interested in doing a plaza, that's why I've put that over there. Now, I'm really not sure if I want to keep this. This is a Wendigo coaster, so it's one of the kids' coasters, right? And I was like, well, this is sort of meant to be like my kids' section here, maybe excluding the log flume. But I was like, that's sort of what kids, shotgun wedding, honeymoon. I thought that sort of makes sense, kind of thing. But looking at the coaster, kids' coasters are normally like quite compact. They're not normally quite long and stretchy and scary. The ratings on this I've got like, oh well, it's something like 4 point something. I'm not quite sure why it's done that, so we'll just randomly speed it up, see if I can get you an answer quickly. But I think a roller coaster here looks good. I'm just not sure if it should be a kids coaster. I sort of envision like kids coaster just being small, simple. So I'm thinking I might replace that with a normal full-on like adult coaster. But let me know what you think, if you think I should keep that or not. I'll show you the testings. Yeah, 4.43. You know, I don't know, is that a bit too much for a kids coaster? I don't really know. I quite like its location. I'm just not sure it's very realistic when it comes to a kids coaster like that. It sort of feels like that should be a normal coaster that does a few more intricate things. Maybe I should actually just do a kids coaster here and a normal coaster over here, and then have the normal coaster do all this thing where it's going over the water and that kind of thing. I'm not really sure. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I said there's not really much to this one. I didn't really want to like show you the build process again, because even though it was just me adding mocks, like if you want to help me do that, you want to come on, you want to catch me when I'm streaming and we'll have a chat about it. But yeah, the next thing I'm probably going to do will either be to tidy up some of the rides, which I don't think it will be, like, you know, put scenery everywhere. I think I'm going to be looking at like my set pieces and my roller coasters, which I think is where the fun's really going to kick off. So I'm quite excited about that. Well, I just need to work out on the layout. I was thinking about having like something like the table here, something like that, then probably the tower over here, and then some roller coasters around it, like a roller coaster here, maybe a roller coaster here with some theming, and then that would probably be about it once I tidied it all up. And as I said, it's like I'm sort of running out of ideas. There's not that much to do. I mean, there's a lot of things that I've sort of left unfinished, which I should finish. But I sort of don't want to do it because I'm worried about changing my mind on things. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's this one's a relatively short update as in comparison to the last one, and there's not that much added. But let me know what you think of the coaster and the river rapids. Let me know what you think of anything and everything, if you would be so kind. Other than that, I do hope you like this video. Do like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. And yeah, have a beautiful day. Goodbye.